In 1964, the Inter-Dominion returned to the Royal Melbourne Showgrounds, and success went to the South Australian pacer Minuteman, trained and driven by Eric Hurley. Three of the stars, Angelique, Cardigan Bay and Red Adios, won their heats on the opening night, with Minuteman finishing second to Cardigan Bay. It was not until the second round, however, that Eric Hurley allowed himself the luxury of making a prediction on the likely outcome of the final.
And when asked in a interview to give my prediction for the final, I couldn't say. I never had great confidence myself, but I said whatever wins that heat will win the final. So it put me in that spot where I won the heat, so let's see what happens in the final.
But it was far from plain sailing, even after Minuteman's win, because leg trouble caused him to miss the third round and then kept him in doubt for the final until 3 hours before post time.
They're racing. And from the front, Minuteman's the first to get going. There's going up in the air, Le George, and Angelique is galloping too. Robin Dundee locked wheels with Smoke Cloud. Cardigan Bay got away all right, but Minuteman, the leader, settles down in front of Angelique second, Pippericki up the track third, and Red.
And for once in his life, he felt like a milk cart horse. The barrier went and he jogged to the front, and when I had a bit of a peep around, I thought, well, it's only a matter of something taking me on to upset me, and Robin Dundee had run into trouble with Smoke Cloud, and there were other troubles. I think Cardigan Bay galloped off of his back mark for the first time in his life, and I tried to make time because he's never a horse that you can slow the field down with and sprint with the best.
2.9 bat at the moment, maybe faster. Minuteman in front of Sulky's length to Angelique. Red Adios in the death seat on the outside. Fourth Tactile shading Pippericki, who's got in on the fence. Then Little Mary. Robin Dundee is last of the main bunch. 8 yards away, Smoke Cloud. Here's Cardigan Bay asked for his first effort, moving up on the outside of Smoke Cloud. And Le George brought up the rear. In the straight, 3 laps to go, and it's Minuteman a Sulky's length clear of Red Adios. On the rails is Angelique. Then Tactile racing on the outside of Pippericki from Little Mary, Robin Dundee. Cardigan Bay trailing Robin Dundee, and then Smoke Cloud, and last of all, Le George. They head up for home for the bell, and Minuteman under a tight rein is the leader. Red Adios second from Angelique third, then Tactile from Pippericki, Little Mary. Next Smoke Cloud, Robin Dundee, Le George, and Cardigan Bay last. They pass the judge, 1 lap to go, and it's still Minuteman pacing stylishly. 2 yards to Red Adios, Angelique. Tactile's coming out first. Little Mary behind him as they go to the back, and Cardigan Bay still last. 2 furlongs to go, and the leader, Minuteman. Red Adios has beaten Angelique in a pocket. Tactile is 3 wide, but Hurley's very confident on this leader, and Cardigan Bay can't win. A furlong to go, and the leader, Minuteman. Angelique gets out and looks the big danger from Tactile. Then Pippericki, Robin Dundee, but at the furlong, Minuteman's doing it stylishly. Angelique second from Tactile. Smoke Cloud is next, and then Pippericki. Minuteman headed for home, nicely clear. Angelique under the whip, the only danger. It's Minuteman in front from Angelique, and the South Australians too good. Minuteman wins the Inter-Dominion from Angelique. Third racing to Tactile, fourth Smoke Cloud, then Robin Dundee. Next Cardigan Bay, Le George, Pippericki, Red Adios, and last to finish in the race was Little Mary. A training triumph to Eric Hurley. The driver of Minuteman had a sick horse on his hand, suffering from arthritis and laminitis. Couldn't start in the third heat of the championship. He got into the post, perfectly fit, drove a masterly race in front, and has clinched this magnificent £30,000 grand final of the Inter-Dominion Championship.
Minuteman had beaten the odds and is the Inter-Dominion champion. 6 years later, in 1970, the Inter-Dominion was in Melbourne again. That year, trainer Alf Simons from Deer Park in Victoria was the perfect host, or almost.
We had 11 Inter-Dominion horses in the stable in 1970, and there was 6 of those that got into the final, and plus that there was Tara Meadow next door, George Katz, which is a next door neighbour of mine.
Bold David, trained and driven by Alf Simons, finished last in Adelaide 12 months earlier and is again in the field.
But now it's Bold David going over to take the leader. And as they run to the first turn, it's Bold David, about a length clear of Bylaw. Elios Cortis dropping back on the fence to be third. Tara Meadow is fourth. Lucky Creed began well. They're followed by Bon Edios, and further back is Dainty's Daughter, 2 lengths to Deep Court, not well away, and last of all, Moonstone Bay.
That's in the final, Bold David drew the outside to do the 6 barrier. There was a little bit of trouble going on in the middle of the field with Joe Webster and George Gath on Eddie's Court in Tara Meadow, and I could see everything that was going on, and Bold David just moved straight to the front, and it was a procession from then on. He never looked like getting beat at any stage.
There's Lucky Creed going with a scorching run up on the outside, and Eddie Oscorta's trying to go with him, but down the back straight they travel now in this lap, and the leader, Bold David. They're followed by Bonetios, Tara Meadow, Dainty's Daughter, Moonstone Bay and Deep Court. To the back straight for the last time, Bold David held together, still the leader. With
a lap to go, Cocky Raider pulled out the top of the straight at the showground, which we only had 4 furlongs to go at that stage, and I kicked him away, and I knew then that he was home for sure, because he ran his last half under 2-minute gate on the showground, and there was no way that any horse could go around him on the little track running under 2-minute back.
Bonetios followed by Dainty's Daughter. At the head of the others and then Lucky Creed, but it's Bold David in front, halfway down the straight, and Bold David's going to win the Inter Dominion. Bold David, 4 yards to Bylaw, third.